like the stars in outer space. Something about you radiates. It feels so nice and it feels so nice. Yeah.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Starlit Success Podcast. I am your host, as always, Jessica Gaines. And if you notice, we have another new background today because I'm going to try something different. I feel like the lighting is always a little sketch when I'm recording. So we are outside in about 95 degree weather. So we're going to see how long I can last. And you'll probably see my makeup melting off my face and my hair slowly dying. So I thought I was done with the Messy Middle series, but I realized I have one more mess to share. I guess my life was a little messier than I thought. Technically, this was the episode that I talked about in the last episode that I recorded, the one where it was like 7 minutes where I was kind of giving myself a hard time for not being prepared, not having anything planned. And then I realized actually I did. So this was that episode. And it was basically my realization of, oh my gosh, all my shit is packed up. Like my desk is gone, my setup is gone. Like, how am I going to record an episode? And then I was thinking about it and I'm like, wait a minute, isn't that what this whole series is about? Is about like being messy and being in the middle of your mess and overcoming the obstacles that come your way. But then I'm like, here I am living in mess, but then I'm scared to maybe show how that might look to someone else if I don't have like my perfect setup or, things just so. I don't want people to see the boxes or the stuff in disarray. And then I'm like, that's not really who I am. I'm not one to make it look like I have it all together all the time. Like I know all the answers or that everything is perfect. And I know like a lot of the people that I follow, that's one of the reasons that I follow them is because they're real. They don't try to put on like a show. They don't try to put on a front like they're someone who they're not. And personally, I care a lot more about someone's message and their energy than I do about how their hair or makeup is or their freaking studio background or how on point their outfit is. And just to be clear, like the reason that I didn't record that week was not because our house was upside down. It wasn't because I was living in boxes or anything like that. It was literally just because I underestimated the amount of shit I had to do. I totally would have recorded with all of the boxes and all of the mess. I mean, you guys, last week, I freaking recorded with no makeup and no hair. Not no hair, I had hair. You know what I'm saying? Like my hair wasn't done. I would have never done that before, but then I'm like, who gives a shit? But I think that's the problem. Like, I feel like sometimes we give so much power to how we'll be perceived or our self-image or how we're gonna look or if something needs to be just so before we do whatever it is that we wanna do, that we end up just not doing it at all. Like we care so much more about our self-image and the possible perceptions from other people than we do about the connections that we're trying to make or the contribution that we're trying to make into the world. And the last episode that I recorded, I was thinking like, oh my God, I'm so not prepared. My hair is not done, my makeup's not done. But I also don't want to leave my listeners just hanging and not knowing where the hell I am this week, especially when I give them no heads up that I wouldn't have an episode. And to sit back and think like, do I care more about how I look on camera or do I care more about you and leaving you hanging and wondering where the hell I am this week and at least giving you some kind of idea of what's going on in my life, especially with everything that I've been sharing. And I realized that was more important to me. It was more important to connect with you, let you know where I've been, let you know what's going on, let you know we made it to Florida than it was for me to look pretty on camera. I feel like sometimes we're scared to show our flaws because then it might prove that we're not good enough and it might highlight some insecurities that we already have. So we try to pretend like we have our shit together, that life is grand, we know what we're doing, we've got things under control. And we think that if everything looks good, then, people will take us more seriously. Maybe they'll have more respect for us. Maybe we'll prove that we're worthy of their attention. And I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that. I think you should be aware of it. It's your ego just trying to do its job. Your ego is just trying to protect your self-image, and that's what it's there for. But I also feel like it's driven by a sense of fear, a fear of being seen, a fear of being judged. If you're scared of how you'll look, if you're scared of how you'll be perceived, if you're scared that you're going to show your mess or your flaws or your insecurities, or maybe you don't know everything yet, you're probably just going to wait and put things off until you think you've got it all together, until you think things are just right. Or maybe you're not showing who you truly are, what you're actually going through, your ideas, your opinions, things that maybe you're confused about, things that don't sit right with you. What you're going through might be something someone else is going through, or things that you're insecure about, maybe someone else is insecure about those too. Maybe your ideas or your opinions, maybe they're not popular, but maybe there's someone out there that agrees with you. Maybe there's someone out there that's like, God, finally someone gets me. And if you hide those things, if you don't really show those things that you feel you might be judged for, then you're not going to connect with the people who you're meant to connect with. So essentially, like, you might not show up for the people who really need you. Or if you try to be too perfect and too on point, you might actually repel the people away that were meant for the authentic you. My favorite is, like, if you ever watch a performance or a speaker and they mess up, like it's a really professional setting or even like a national event or something, and they mess up and they make a joke about it, how funny that is, because everyone's like, oh gosh, like he can at least admit to his mistake, or she can at least admit that they messed up, and we're not going to just sit here and pretend nothing ever happened. Or like at the end of some movies where they'll have like a little blooper at the end. I love those, because then you see these movies, these big time actors who are paid millions and millions of dollars, and they mess up on a word or they forget their line, and you're like, oh yeah, they're human too. We're all freaking human. There's actually someone I work with that they're one of those people that they can never admit their mistakes, never admit that they're wrong. They always have to be the smartest one in the room, like they have their shit together all the time. And you know what the funny thing is no one likes them. No one enjoys working with that person. I have not met anyone in my company who speaks highly of them. There's another person I work with who is the first person to admit their mistakes and even laughs about it, even broadcasts it. One time they made a mistake. They sent the wrong link to a customer, right? It was supposed to be some business link for them. And instead, they sent I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Is it a GIF or a GIF? One of those like animated memes. And it was hilarious. And it was like this really professional email. And in the email, it's like, please click this link to do XYZ. And you click that link and you see this hilarious GIF. And I died. When they showed it to me, I just died laughing. And I was like, can I share this with so-and-so? And it was the highlight of our day. Now, that person did not need to share that with me. They also could have said, no, please don't share it with anyone else. But they realized, like, it wasn't on purpose. No one meant to do it. We're just human. We're just out here trying to do the best that we can. And you know what? Let's laugh at ourselves along the way. If we make a mistake, if we're not perfect here and there, who freaking cares? Everyone makes mistakes. Let's just enjoy life. So I just think it's interesting that the one person who is always trying to look so put together is the one that nobody connects with. And then the one person who is so willing to put their flaws out there, everybody loves. So maybe perfection isn't really all that it is or all that we make it out to be. So I did a little research on this, and there was a 2026 study that compared people who only shared their wins with people who shared their vulnerabilities. And the success-only people received the lowest authenticity ratings, which does not surprise me in the least. People who shared their mistakes, their flaws, their insecurities, whatever it is, were perceived as more authentic, which obviously if you're more authentic and you're more real, people consider you more down to earth, you're more socially appealing. So what is my point here? It's really just stop taking yourself so seriously. Start embracing your imperfections. Start embracing what makes you freaking human in the first place. Or like me, embrace being a noob. according to my kids, a noob. It's when you're new at something and you don't really know everything yet, but you know what? You're trying it out, you're learning, you have to start from somewhere. Like embrace that stage, embrace that learning stage and just trying it anyway. You might not know what the hell you're doing, but you know what? At least you're trying. At least you're putting in the effort. There's a lot of people out here that just won't even start. And honestly, at the end of the day, who gives a fuck? I swear, like, that's one reason I love my 40s so much, because I think with every passing year, I give less and less fucks. Like, I don't care what people think of me. I'm just out here living my life and doing the best that I can and trying to help people. And if I get judged, judge me, don't care. And like I mentioned, people are attracted to realness. And I want people to be attracted to me for who I am, not some facade of who I want people to think I am. And one thing I've experienced throughout this whole process is I actually feel like it takes a lot more confidence to be messy or imperfect, or to know that you don't have everything together, or know how much you don't know, if that makes any sense. It takes a lot more confidence to just do it anyway than it does to only put something out when you have everything figured out and when everything looks like it's put together. I cannot believe that I recorded that last episode without my makeup done or without my hair done. Like, that is something I wouldn't even go, like, 20 years ago, Jesse would have never even gone in public without my hair and makeup done. Now I'm posting videos on the internet for whoever to see. That takes a lot of guts, at least for me. Maybe for you, that's not that big of a deal, but for me, that was a huge deal. And I actually love, like, I'll go to some of the creators that I follow or coaches that I follow, and I will literally go back to like their very, very beginning episodes just to see how messy they were, and just to see that persistence, that they never gave up. They just tried. They didn't know what they were doing, and they just kept getting better and better, and they're super successful now. And that is just so inspiring to me. They knew they didn't have it all figured out, and they were willing to just do it anyway. They just cared so much more about what they were sharing and how badly they wanted to help people, that their self-image didn't matter as much. They were just messy. They just started messy, and they got better along the way. My family, we actually roast each other. We roast our kids. We roast each other, because I've always wanted to teach my kids that it's okay to laugh at yourself. It's okay to not have something down right. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay. We don't want any of us to get too hung up on the flaws that we have, or the flaws that we think we have. So we roast each other to make light of them, to make it not that big of a deal. And we want them to know that it's okay to be seen as real. And being an imperfect human, I feel, is what helps bond people. You know how much energy it takes to just be on all the time? If you're just always trying to just say the right thing and do the right thing and have the perfect this and have the perfect that, it's draining. If you put a little less pressure on yourself, it's a lot easier to be consistent, because if you're setting this bar so high, it just seems unachievable. So then you probably will put it off even more, or maybe never do it at all, because it's too scary, because you're building it up in your head. So stop wasting so much mental energy worrying about whether or not something is exactly how it should be, because there is no measurement of what it should be in the first place. You know how many times I post a video and I'm like, oh, I should have said it this way, or did I sound dumb, or did I make sense? Whatever. Done is better than perfect. Just get it out. What if you just didn't care? I'm not saying like diminish the quality. Obviously, you want to do your due diligence and make sure that you're putting the best product out there, doing your best at least. That's all any of us can do, is do our best. But stop beating yourself up about whether or not it's good enough. It just gives you so much more freedom to be creative and to just be yourself. People see the beauty in being raw. People will trust you more because they feel that you're being genuine. You just become a magnet for whatever is actually meant for you. Like, I don't want to attract an audience who is just so focused on image or professional studios or me being an expert on everything. I want to attract an audience who can relate to me and my experiences and my message and my original ideas and thoughts and opinions on things. That's who I want. I want my people. I don't want someone else's people. And then when you can just be yourself and make mistakes and put shit out there, you have more fun. The whole process is lighter. And then it just makes you relatable. You guys, I'm like sweating like crazy right now. What was I thinking recording this outside? Oh my God, this will be the first and last I do out here during the middle of the day. What time is it? Oh God, it's 3 in the afternoon in Southwest Florida, and it's probably close to 100 degrees. Okay, so like I said, you can care about quality and still be real. So you can have a beautiful setup, you can have the perfect outfit, the perfect makeup, whatever makes you comfortable, and you can still admit that you're a mess or that your life is in complete chaos. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can still have some shit together and still also be true to who you are and be real. So I guess what I'm trying to say is your goal shouldn't be to impress, it should be to connect and to contribute something of value. What messiness would you love to see in others and the people that you look up to? What do you wish they would show? What side of them do you feel that is more secret that you could get a little glimpse into? Be that for them. Be that for your people. And focus on your why. Focus on the reason you want to do whatever it is you want to do, not how you look doing it, or not how people will perceive you doing it. Here's a really minor example. So Xanon started his new school, and I was getting all of this conflicting information on what supplies he needed. The website said one thing. There was a Facebook post from the school that said another thing. And then we got an email that said something different, and I was lost. I'm like, I have no idea what this kid needs for school, when we're supposed to bring it, completely clueless. So we have this open house, and I'm like, do I bring this stuff to open house? Does he bring it all to school? Like, how does this work? And I felt so dumb. I was hesitant, like, should I post this question in this Facebook post and look stupid in front of all these other parents? But then I'm like, okay, again, focusing on the why. I'm not focusing on my image or how I look. I'm focusing on Xandon being prepared and being ready for the first day of school. So I'm like, do I care more about how I look on a stupid Facebook post with a bunch of strangers that I don't even know? Or do I care about making sure Xandon has what he needs? So I'm like, whatever, I'm just going to post a stupid question like, hey, do we bring the stuff tonight or do we wait for the first day? I had like 3 other moms comment following, thanks, Jessica. I was wondering the same thing. Then another mom was like, oh, I'm going to private message you, and got the answer to my question. And not only did I get the answer to my question, a couple other moms got the answer to the same question that they were afraid to ask. So just put it out there. You're probably in the same boat that someone else is anyway. And they're going to appreciate that you were willing to look dumb and help them, help yourself and help them. And then also condition yourself that it is okay to show up messy without anything really bad happening. So, for example, my last episode I posted with no makeup and no hair done, guess what? I survived. Nobody even said anything about it. I asked the dumb question on the Facebook post. People actually appreciated it. I've posted imperfect episodes before. I don't know that there's any episode that I'm like 100% happy with. There's always something in there that I wish I would have said or did differently or whatever. But you know what? I still survive every week. Or just admitting mistakes. People will find humor in it and then they can relate to you. So what is something that maybe you're trying to hide or you've hidden in the past that might actually make someone else feel seen or feel validated? What if there's something that you're embarrassed to admit or show or do that makes someone else feel like, oh my God, me too, thank you. So this week, I just want you to decide to do it anyway. Say it anyway, show it anyway. Give your best effort and just have fun with it. It can be something as simple as just going out in public with no makeup on or posting a video to the internet. But if you don't wear makeup, maybe it's something like putting something out into the world that you're not 100% on. Maybe it's trying a new hobby that you're scared to try. Maybe it is admitting a mistake to someone. Maybe it's just admitting to someone that you're struggling with something. Or it's asking the dumb question. Or maybe you're not super confident to say this thing, but you have this really strong opinion and you say it in that meeting. Or maybe you just start something before you have it all figured out. So that's what I have for you guys today. So I hope this inspired you to just do it. Just try it. I support you. You got this. And thanks for listening. I'll see you on the next episode.
It's all so bright.